mine. This flame is yours. This flame is ours. We're brought together today, called to growth, to expansion within its glow. And now, center yourself as we listen to our centering music.
Good morning, friends. Welcome in. My name is Reverend Jaimie Simon. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and it is my privilege each week to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville. I'm so happy to be back with you this morning. I've missed you the past few Sundays, though I hear you've had beautiful guest messages from some of our favorite friends who come down to preach to you. But I am glad to be back with you and to see your faces and hear your stories as we gather this morning. I have words for you from my colleague Leah Ongiri. Here we are together, each facing our different human tasks, or maybe the same central one, to embrace the lessons life delivers, to discern and respond as we grow, to refuse harm and cherish flourishing. May we know ourselves as vessels of infinite possibility, holders of each other's heartaches and tales of joy alike, weavers of one story, in which we each have our part. In that spirit, we begin our worship time together. Our first hymn is in that gray hymnal. I'd invite you to rise in body or rise in spirit, however feels right to you this morning. We're going to sing together. It's number 193 in that gray hymnal. our tradition, after our first hymn, we stay risen, either in body or in spirit, and we sing our doxology in English and in Spanish, and we speak our words of aspiration to one another. And when we get to those words of aspiration, we turn toward that center aisle and make a connection with another person across from us, speaking these words as words of promise in our community. Let's sing. The spirit of this church. May the quest for truth be its sacrament and service be its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration. Now you may be seated, and we have a special treat for you this morning.
Our very own ukulele ensemble is going to perform for you. While they are getting set up, I would like to tell you about the song they're about to sing. And here's part of it. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Kate Wolf wrote this, and her son put this on her website, saying, she wrote it for two good friends on the afternoon of their wedding in Nevada City. She was supposed to sing a couple of Bob Dylan tunes, but she had a couple hours to kill before the wedding, so she went into a bedroom with her guitar, closed the door, and just churned out this song. She sang it in the ceremony, and her friend who was getting married cried. The minister cried. The composer cried, and she started doing the song in concerts and immediately got requests from people to sing, "Give Yourself to Love."
We are the Unitarian Universalist, aka UUCH. Our pronouns are we, us. And if you recognize the tune or would just enjoy catching on, sing along or hum along on the choruses with us.
Give yourself to love.
Thank you for joining us.
Friends, what a beautiful way to begin our time together. Now it is time for our story for all ages. So I was wondering if any of the children here might like to come up. And Nancy, will you pass me that bag right there? Pass me that. Thank you. Come on up, friends. And Snow White, excellent. Thank you. Yes, stuffies are welcome as well as children. Nice. Look who we've got here. Welcome, friends. It is so good to see you this morning. How we doing? Why do I have a piece of tape on my cheek? This is a beautiful question. It is so that the microphone stays right here in front of my mouth so that everybody can hear. It's about accessibility, which is something we care about here at church. This morning, I'm talking to our grown-ups about an idea, which is how to think like a Unitarian Universalist. So we're going to talk about thinking this morning. And when we talk about thinking, we're talking about the things we believe. And so this is my belief bag. And would someone like to be my belief bag volunteer? Oh my goodness, so many people would like to. Well, there's lots of pieces, so we'll pass it around. Nora, I saw your hand first. Will you come up and hold it first for me? And I'm going to describe things to do with it, but you just hold it out in front of you for a little bit. All right, so this is a story that I'm sharing that's from my buddy Gary Kowalski. And it's about our belief bag. And he starts by telling us about babies. Have any of you met a baby? Yeah, I bet a lot of you have. Some of you might have. You've met a baby? I bet some of you have babies who are brothers or sisters at home. I see one in the back. We've met them, yes. And here's something that's true about babies. When babies are born, they don't have any beliefs yet. They're not born with beliefs in their head. Did you know that? Yeah. They only know instinctual things like how to eat and breathe and find love and care, but they don't have beliefs and ideas yet. And they collect those ideas from the people and families and animals. They collect ideas about stars and comets and how the world got started as they grow through life. All of us accumulate beliefs about good and bad and right and wrong, healthy and unhealthy, important and not important as we grow and learn through life. And sometimes we even come to church, we come to our religious community, so we can think about what we believe. Does that make sense so far? We know that? So we know there are lots of different religions that we share the world with. So we know that, for instance, our friends who are Christians believe in a teacher named Jesus, who they also believe is God. And we know that our friends who are Muslim believe in a God that they call Allah, which that's an easy one. God in Arabic is the word Allah. That's how you make sense of that one. And a prophet named Muhammad. And our friends who are Buddhists, they believe in something called the Four Noble Truths. There's lots of different things that different religious communities believe. But Unitarian Universalists, we're a tiny bit different than that, aren't we? We don't just have one set of beliefs. Instead, what makes us special is the way we carry our beliefs in our belief bag. So we know that some people, they carry their beliefs and they clutch it really close. Can you clutch that bag really close to your chest and maybe like close up the top of it so that nothing else can get in there? Right? We know that some people, they carry their beliefs and they close it as tight as they can. And we might call that way of carrying beliefs closed-minded. And then there are some people, will you pass the bag to another friend? Actually, Saoirse, will you come up and hold the next one? Now, Saoirse, when you're gonna hold the belief bag, can you hold it open and maybe just by one handle so that things could fly in and out and, ideas could come in, they could come out, someone could sneak an idea in there without even you noticing, right? And one idea might be just as good as another. And we might think that carrying a bag like this is a little bit of the sloppy way to carry a bag. One more volunteer. Come on up, friend. Lorelai, can you carry the bag? All right. And then there are some people who use their belief bag like a weapon. Can you swing that bag around like it's a club? Yeah. Now, some people, they put what they believe in a bag and they use that idea to hurt people because they think that their idea is so much more important than other people's ideas. And none of these are the ways that we Unitarian Universalists carry our belief bag. So the way we like to carry it is with the top open. So the top's open like this, and the bag is out in front of us. And we carry it with the top open so that new ideas can come in as we learn and experience new things. And old beliefs that are down maybe in the bottom of our belief bag, if we realize maybe that's not the truth anymore, we can take those out. And then we carry it in front of us so that we make sure we know what's going on in there. We keep track of our beliefs and make sure they make sense and fit with the things we know and learn as we grow. And we keep it out front so that we can share what we believe with our neighbors. Because here in our community, it's okay to tell your friend at church what you believe, and even if they believe something else that's different than you, that's okay too. Does that make sense? Yeah. Layla, do you have a question? Yeah, we could probably carry a small person in that bag. That's a true idea. We could put the baby, no. Only if they're in like a very safe car seat first. Okay. So friends, this is kind of what I wanted to show you and talk to you about this morning, that as Unitarian Universalists, we are people who can have different beliefs, but we carry our beliefs in a particular way, where it's open and in front of us. Florence, do you want to show us how you carry the bag? Will you come up and show me? Can you show the bag open and in front of us? Perfect. Good job. And we share our beliefs with other people. Oh, you're going to come all the way up. Okay, I like that. Thank you for offering to help, friend. All right. So that's our idea for this morning. Friends, what ideas would you put in your belief bag? Anybody got ideas? What are you putting? Is it a silly idea or a real idea? Yeah, that looks like maybe a silly idea. A unicorn, that might be a silly idea. Does anyone have a real idea they would put in their bag? Saoirse, you got a real one? You can put it down now. Dogs can't spit. Okay. Ruby, what would you put in your... Spontaneous combustion is a thing that maybe occasionally happens. Nora, what would you put in your bag? Nora would put creative ideas in the belief bag. That's a great answer. Okay, friends. So we're going to send you off to your classes this morning. Wait, pause for a second. Because before we send you off to your classes, we have a new sending song that we're going to send you off in a new way. It's a new song, first time we're singing it today, and it's called the Arch Song. And so what I'd like you guys to do is maybe go this way to the back of the sanctuary, and then our grown-ups are going to reach across the aisle and make a big arch across the center aisle, and you're going to walk through it. Does that sound like fun? Okay, let's go. That's okay, yeah. All right, so you guys go to the back. And you might have to do a one-handed arch so you can also read the words. That's okay. All right, let's sing. Beneath arms, we shelter you. You warm our hearts as you pass through. May our love guide you as you go to help you learn and help you grow. Beautiful.
We are the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville, a proudly inclusive spiritual community. Together we build a broader search for meaning, a bolder form of compassion, and a braver voice for justice. At this time, we invite you to support our mission with monetary contribution. You may donate online using the QR code on your order of service, or you may put cash or check donations in the offering baskets. Completed circle of candle cards, that white card, should also be placed in the offering baskets. You are also invited to come forward during this time and quietly drop a stone into the bowl of water right here next to the ramp, in honor or memory of what you hold in your heart. With gratitude, we now receive the offering and share our ritual of generosity.
Man. Ah. What a gift we have here on our piano. Thank you, Thomas. Friends, as we have collected our offering, our outward symbol of generosity, we center our hearts once more in a time of prayer, meditation, reflection, connection. And in this time, we breathe in love, and we breathe out peace. And we hold with one another the joys and sorrows that are part of our lives together, part of our shared community and our world. This morning, I'd like to lift up a joy for our children and parents and teachers. I know this past week was the first day of school for many, and this coming week is the first day of school for many. Whenever your actual first day is, I wish you joy and friendship and fun, and may you learn and grow and thrive this year. And I'll share these joys and sorrows of our community. LaDawn Edwards has a joy that the loggerhead turtles are rebounding in the Pacific Ocean, thanks to U.S. conservation efforts. For everyone who filled in their holes at the beach or refused to take a straw to help the turtles, the Earth and 500,000 baby loggerhead turtles thanks you. We are joyful for the continued protection of nature and the species that bring us such joy and connection. Our care team this morning requests that we send prayers and notes of encouragement to our friend Zena Tucker, who recently had surgery and is recovering at Huntsville Hospital. We lift up our love for you, Zena, this morning and wish you well in your recovery. Our community asks us to think of Eunice Benton, who is the former UU Mid-South District rep and was known by many in our congregation. Eunice has been ill but is improving in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We send healing wishes to you this morning, Eunice. A special joy from our property team. Yesterday, 16 adults and 3 children came together for a wonderful beautifying and cleaning effort for our building and grounds, and we thank all who volunteered. And finally, our friend Robert Farrell shares in joy that Tuesday, August 11th, Victoria and Robert celebrated 25 years of marriage. Congratulations. Here we are, holding it all together. Prayers for those who are ill and recovering. Prayers for our great green earth, always ill and always recovering, always a miracle in our midst. Prayers for those who give their time and love and attention to this community. And prayers for all of us as we move through the milestones of life. May we breathe in peace once more and breathe out love to the world. Blessed be and amen, and we'll sing together our responsive music. It's number 1009 in that teal hymnal. Let's sing. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. Breathe in, breathe out. Thank you. Growing up, I spent a lot of time at Unitarian Universalist congregations, both my own and others around the state and in our district. And we used to say, you knew you were in the right parking lot when you saw all the bumper stickers. Invariably, you could pull into a lot on Sunday morning and see row after row of coexist, praise well with others, standing on the side of love, tree-hugging dirt worshiper. And you knew that was the place to be that morning. For a time, I thought that bumper stickers were, in fact, a pillar of Unitarian Universalist evangelism, and I am pretty sure my car made the yearbook that year for how many I had plastered on the back of it. In thinking of these stickers and slogans of Unitarian Universalist faith and values, I'm reminded of one more sticker I saw often, a phrase that was misattributed to Transylvanian Unitarian Francis David that said, "We need not think alike to love alike." Have you heard that one before? Have you heard that phrase? We need not think alike to love alike. The meaning here was simple, that you and I need not think alike in the specifics of how we answer life's big theological questions. We need not think the exact same thing happens, be it nothingness or an afterlife, when a human life ends. We need not find comfort and reverence in the same image of God or even agree if God is or isn't. We need not think alike to love one another, to love humankind through compassion and service, to love our congregation, and to choose to worship alongside each other. And this is true enough. We need not think alike. Yet I want to offer for our reflection and our collective meaning making this morning that actually, more often than not, we do think alike. We may not think to the same conclusions, but we undertake the process of thinking in a shared way. We hold our belief bag in a shared way, open to new ideas in front of us to make sure we are seeing our thoughts as they change and grow, and gentle as not to use our thinking to bruise or harm. Beloveds, we love alike and we think alike. And so I offer you this, How to Think Like a Unitarian Universalist, a 5-point guide. First, to think like a UU, you must surround yourselves with questions. Our shared theological stance is that the world we live in, with its mystery and its beauty and its cruelty, is beyond our ability to understand completely. But the way we get closest to making sense and making meaning is by asking deep questions. Questions are our guides. We ask, why do bad things happen to good people? We ask, where do our spirits go at the end of our time here? We ask why history moves in ripples and rhythms, with some lessons seemingly learned and forgotten over and over again. We ask why some of us are born into power and privilege and opportunity, whilst others experience oppression and suffering. We ask how this all began, this beautiful green living planet hurtling through space, and what this life we share could possibly mean. Sometimes our children offer us the best questions. I imagine parents and grandparents and aunties and uncles in the room know that truth. In our children and youth program today, our kids are surrounding themselves with the question, how do we overcome something that seems impossible? And the answer today, at least, is by building obstacle courses and solving them as a team. Perhaps here in this very moment, a question is bubbling up in you. What are your deep questions this morning? You can call them out into the room or hold them in your heart. I can feel the questions bubbling. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote this: Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves like locked rooms and like books that are now written in a very foreign tongue. Do not seek the answers, which cannot be given you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. To think like a UU, you must live the questions. 2. To think like a UU is to think with compassion and empathy. Poet and spiritual teacher Mark Nepo writes, "My soul tells me we were all broken from the same nameless heart, and every living thing wakes with a piece of that original heart aching its way into blossom. This is why we know each other below our strangeness, why when we fall, we lift each other up, or when in pain we hold each other, why when suddenly with joy we dance together. Life is the many pieces of that great heart, loving itself back together." Friends, we know to our core, each of us, that we are all connected, that our triumph and our suffering are bound to one another. And so when we think, when we reason, or make meaning, we do so with a lens of compassion first. We think, who is harmed by that conclusion I'm drawing here? Who is left out by this approach to the truth? When I see the world this way, what systems of power are upheld? Who profits? And if I look at things differently, will someone get affirmed, seen, empowered? Could we think that way? Do we think that way? Might we practice together thinking that way? I invite you to apply that lens to the ways that you think. As UUs, we question our thinking so that it might be aligned with our compassion and our deep awareness that we are all intimately interconnected. We challenge ourselves to stop and ask, is this the way? Is there another way of more love and understanding? Third, as Unitarian Universalists, we think generously. We make space in our imaginations for possibilities beyond our knowing, for something far out beyond what we can currently see or feel or imagine. I'd like to pause my sermon here for a moment, and Nancy's going to offer us a reading. It's written by Rosemary Watola Trummer, and it's called Generous Assumptions.
I would like to open my heart to you and keep it open. But the truth is, sometimes all it takes is a glance, or a lack of a glance, or a certain tone, or a serrated word, and instantly the heart puts on armor, which is something like a coat of a porcupine quills, only the quills go inward. They go inward too. And the instant I wear it, I am aware of how much it hurts to wear it. How in that moment, when I seek to protect myself, I wound myself. What if I believed you are doing the best you can do, considering the forces that have shaped you? What if I listened past your words, looked through your actions to see how you, too, feel threatened? The Buddha said, we are always moving towards or away from freedom. Could I, in that moment before the prickly coat has started doing its prickly work, could I move towards freedom? by refusing to put the coat on? Could I choose instead the silken robe of generous assumptions, the one that allows for compassion and connection, even kindness towards you, toward myself? Already, just thinking about it being possible, I notice a softening, a curiosity about how I might change, not you, but myself. Already I feel how fluid the robe is, how gently it swirls around me, how strong its fibers are, and how freeing it is, how cool and breezy this gift I have given to myself.
To think like a Unitarian Universalist is to take off the porcupine coat and choose instead the silken robe of generous assumptions. And so, friends, when it is hard, when it is fraught, when it is easier to harden our own hearts, our most faithful choice is to think generously. Would you practice that with me this morning? I'd like you to picture your most recent minor irritation. The person who cut you off on 565 this morning on the way to church. The friend that said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to make plans with you. I'll reach out in a day or two." And they sent that text 3 weeks ago and left you on red. Picture that family member who snapped at you after a long day, that dysregulated teenager that you snapped at out of your own dysregulation. Picture them in your mind, picture it in your mind, and think a generous assumption for them. Exchange the porcupine quills for the silken robe. Let generosity, forgiveness, spaciousness, kindness flow from you and through you, towards them and towards you. Feel how cool and breezy it is. Fourth, to think like a Unitarian Universalist is to think with courage and confidence. As Unitarian Universalists, we are part of a living legacy of deep thinking heretics who thought differently in spite of the social and political consequences. We come from Unitarians, people who said our reading of the Bible teaches us that Jesus was a loving teacher and a fully human man who was killed by the state for challenging the powerful people of the time. We come from Universalists, people who said our knowledge and experience of God is that God is too loving and gracious and gentle and redeeming to condemn anyone to eternal suffering. We come from transcendentalists, people who said our reasoning mind, our experience of truth is our greatest spiritual tool. We would do well to follow it. One of our UU foreparents, the Reverend James Luther Adams, described us as a prophethood of all believers. Each of us, then, have a unique and worthy prophetic voice that sheds light and speaks truth into the world. And so if we know that we are each prophetic in our own way, and we are part of a line of bold revolutionary thinkers, it is clear that our task is to think with great courage and confidence. What you know to be true, what you discern and believe matters. Be brave. If you believe differently than the norm, well, friend, you are in good company. If you believe things that challenge the powerful amongst us, the norms of our time, do so with courage. Once again, we are with you. Beloveds, think courageously. And finally, 5, To truly think like a Unitarian Universalist, we must not just think, but also feel. Intuition, the little hairs standing up on the backs of our necks, pits in our stomachs, flutters in our chests. As people of faith, we affirm that wisdom lives in our bodies, not just our minds. What you feel, what comes to you as emotion and sensation is just as valid as what comes through books and learning. Our world tends to privilege intellectual thought over emotional feeling. That's in fact a pillar of white supremacy culture, something we work and endeavor to undo in our world, this idea that there is one kind of truth that counts more than others. But we know something different to be true. We know that sometimes the biggest lessons we learn in this life are the ones we learn through feeling. The unconditional love of our families, the feeling of pride when we're able to serve others, the feeling of shame when we've hurt someone else or done something wrong. Our feelings are our teachers too. And as Unitarian Universalists, how we feel guides us just as much as how we think. Friends, we need not think alike to love alike, but how lucky are we that we do? We think with deep questions, we think about how our conclusions can cause harm or healing. We think with an open mind, ready to be wrong and learn something new. We think bravely, trusting our inner voice and believing that what we come to through our reason is valid. And we think not just with our heads, but with our hearts and our bodies, learning to experience the world through the many senses and sensations inherent to us. As we go forth, may thinking like Unitarian Universalists bring us wisdom, connection, and joy. Blessed be, and amen. And now I invite you once more to rise in body or spirit and sing with me our closing hymn. It's printed in your order of service, though it's across 2 pages, so don't forget the page turn. We'll start with the chorus and then go to the verse and back to the chorus. It's called Together We Are Strong. In our gathering, in our thinking, in our feeling together, may we be strong this morning and always.
Together we believe in the power of love. Together we are bold. Together our faith we hold. And together we will rise in the power
us now take a moment to extinguish our chalice with these words adapted from Adam's slate. Be kind. Be brave. Be just. Be merciful. Be hopeful. This is how we keep the chalice flame burning until we are together again to light it anew.
Friends, our service now comes to a close. I will be at the back of the sanctuary to greet you, and everyone is invited to join us in Fellowship Hall for coffee and snacks, and I think a special celebratory dessert, I've heard tell. Beloveds, go forth thinking and living and loving like the Unitarian Universalists you are. Ask deep questions, be generous, hold compassion and confidence with equal measure, and feel everything. May this make you wise and loving, for our world needs you loving and wise. Amen, blessed be, and we'll go out singing our rite of community. Blessed be, and go in peace.